Today marks exactly 3 months before the year concludes. Good evening to our global audience and many thanks for joining us for September's last edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. We commence this evening's bulletin from Swakopmund, where Prime Minister Sarah Koengelo-Amadila has noted that the country recognizes the aspirations of the African Union African Charter. Our Erongo region correspondent Isabel Bento filed our lead story.
Prime Minister Sarah Koengelo-Amadila said this during the opening of the State Parties Assessment Tool pilot program in Swakopmund yesterday. The Prime Minister emphasized State Parties Assessment Tool seeks to complement the reporting guidelines by enabling the implementation of the provisions of the Charter to be assessed and measured in an easier and quicker but more objective, qualitative and quantitative manner. Adding this would provide the government with a tool to conduct an objective assessment of how effectively Namibia is implementing the Charter and provide a quantitative score of the results of such assessment.
Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security Daniel Kashikola on Thursday launched the guideline minimum package of HIV and tuberculosis services for people in correctional facilities as well as police holding cells. More on this story by Linia Dishena.
In his remarks, Kashikola said the guideline is aimed to enhance HIV and TB services to inmates both in police holding cells and correctional facilities by providing quality and effective antiretroviral therapy and comprehensive HIV prevention services to all persons who are in need as stipulated in the National HIV Policy of 2007. He said the government recognized that many of the inmates are from marginalized and poor communities who are often without access to proper regular health care, therefore admitted with poor health conditions. Kashikola further emphasized that the ministry acknowledged that healthcare in detention facilities is integral to public health, hence effective healthcare to inmates ultimately reduces healthcare to people in the communities. He noted the guidelines are in line with government's commitment to eliminate HIV and AIDS and TB-related deaths by 2030.
On to arts and culture. The Kavango West region on Thursday celebrated Heritage Week together with the rest of the country at the Nkurenkuru Expo site. Sawi Hausiku was on the ground for us and filed this report.
Heritage Week is celebrated under the theme Unity in Diversity. Speaking at the event, the Director of Education in the region, Pontanus Muzore, said the week encourages all Namibians to celebrate and commit themselves to preserve the country's natural and cultural resources. He said the week further encourages Namibians to keep culture alive and to pass on inherited traditions and knowledge to future generations to come. The day, he noted, reminds all Namibians that all forms of cultural heritage are valued as equal in importance and thus promotes understanding across diverse communities. Muzore said all schools in the region have been celebrating Heritage Week for the whole month of September.
Switching attention to East Africa, where Kenya's newly elected President William Ruto on Thursday vowed to overhaul the country's income tax regime as well as introduce reforms asking high earners to pay more in a bid to reduce inequality. More on this report from Shelva Wells.
The 55-year-old leader, who cast himself as the champion of the poor in the August 9 poll, said he intended to establish a progressive income tax regime in his first speech to Parliament since winning the presidency. Ruto noted they are overtaxing trade and undertaxing wealth, the rags to riches businessmen told parliamentarians, adding he is committed and determined to ensure that their tax system is responsive to the needs of the economy. He said the economic principles of equitable taxation requires that the tax burden reflects the ability to pay.
When we return, Namport explores greener shipping options. Welcome to Primetime Biz, where business and economics take center stage. Namport Chief Executive Officer Andrew Kanime says the entity is seeking a bigger platform for greener shipping by exploring the prospects of technology, automation, as well as digitization in driving cleaner shipping. More from this report.
This will be done amongst others by converting some of the company's cargo handling equipment, tech boats, to utilize green hydrogen, and in collaboration with the private sector, developing and setting up green hydrogen bunkering facilities at both ports. Kanime was speaking at Namport's maiden celebration of the World Maritime Day at the Walvis Bay port yesterday, held under the theme New Technologies for Greener Shipping. He said the theme comes at a time when Namibia has taken the lead role to deploy cleaner and renewable energy so as to reduce the impact of climate change. Adding he is equally happy to share that part of Namport's master plan, 4 hydrogen projects are planned for implementation at both ports of Walvis Bay and Lüderitz.
On to global business. Nike reported lower quarterly profits on Thursday on increased logistics spending and a heat from product markdowns as it pivots in a fast-changing consumer market challenged by inflation.
The sports giant topped analyst estimates for both earnings per share and revenues, but shares fell sharply as it faced questions over excess inventory in North America and signaled the strengthening dollar would dent results. Nike expects a $4 billion hit from the stronger dollar in its current fiscal year, said Chief Financial Officer Matthew Friend on a conference call over its fiscal 2023 first quarter results. Profits for the quarter ending August 31st was $1.5 billion, down 22%, but translating into earnings per share that exceeded expectations. Revenues rose 4% to $12.7 billion, while sales once again dropped in Greater China, a market hit by coronavirus restrictions. Nike notched higher sales in its other 3 regions, including North America, where revenues jumped 13%.
That's all the top news we had for you this evening. Stay tuned for the economics roundup and the weather forecast thereafter. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment that brings you everything adrenaline and action. Football dominates the segment. Arsenal and Tottenham will be fighting for much more than local bragging rights on Saturday, as the North London rivals aim to prove they're serious contenders for the Premier League title. As top-flight action returns following the international break, Arsenal sit top of the table after a surprisingly strong start, while unbeaten Tottenham are just 1 point behind in third place. With Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United still recovering their equilibrium after turbulent starts to the season, a path has opened up for the North London clubs to gate-crash the title race. Veteran Pumas Unam defender Dani Alves has moved to ease fears that a knee injury could dash his hopes of going to the FIFA World Cup with Brazil. Alves was ruled out of Pumas' last match of the Mexican League MX regular season against Juarez on Saturday, after suffering suspected ligament damage while training. Now, the right-back has previously made public his desire to be part of Brazil's squad for the World Cup to be played in Qatar from November 20 to December 18, after missing the last edition in Russia because of a knee injury. Stand by for your sports roundup. We, the sports news, have come to the end of this week's cast of Primetime News. Much appreciated for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share and press the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Do make a date with my colleagues Joey Costas and Selima Shimwefelini Masipa as from Monday next week on Primetime News. From myself, Michael Madimba, have a blessed weekend. Adios.